Today I'd like to do a video featuring my Life Vest survival kit for flooding and tsunamis. There are many different natural disasters that occur in my particular region in the Seattle area, ranging from earthquakes, volcanoes, and fires. But flooding is a very common disaster that occurs. It occurs in all 50 states in the United States. Most recently in Louisiana, they suffered horrible flooding. Many people lost their lives. Thousands of people lost their homes. It's just a horrible disaster. Also, I live along the Ring of Fire and the Cascadia Subduction Zone region, so tsunamis are also a concern. During my research, I found that the flooding preparedness planning is very standard for other preparedness, basically having your emergency supplies, food, water, shelter, comms, having family member planning such as meetup locations, personal information, and for those of you that have watched my videos for a while, you know I have various kits ranging from bug-out bags, go bags, get-home bags, home preps, vehicle preps, but I realized I have no dedicated supplies for flooding, specifically for flotation and for flooding rescue. Flooding has always been a great concern for my personal preparedness plans with regard to natural disasters. I just have a great fear, especially as a family man, of any kind of loved ones being swept away during a flood, a flash flood. That would just be absolutely horrific. So I wanted to make sure I had some planning in place specifically for flooding. So around a year ago to this date, I started the creation of a prototype Life Vest survival kit, otherwise known as a PFD, Personal Flotation Device. Instead of having typical survival gear like knives, shelter, water purification, the kit focuses more on flotation and water-based signaling methods. I tried to keep it around the $100 price range so it could be replicated for other family members. So let's get started now with this video featuring the Life Vest survival kit for flooding and tsunamis. Before going through the actual contents of this survival kit, I first wanted to go over a few flood facts. Again, here in the United States, the state of Louisiana was really hit hard with flooding. It's been absolutely horrible for the people down there. I'm going to be providing information in the description box in addition to this video for those of you that would like to help out the people that are going through hard times over there. There's several different methods for donations and providing them with preps and items that they could really use right now. So as a quick disclaimer, again, I am no expert in flooding preparedness. I'm just a normal person wanting to have some kind of preparedness measures put into place specific for flooding outside of my standard preps. As always, knowledge is far more important than any kind of specific gear. So knowing what to do when a certain situation occurs is more important than having the right gear for that particular situation. Although having the right gear with that knowledge can be very beneficial. I've included a few links in the description box below that you should definitely check out with regard to flooding preparedness. The first one is through floodsmart.gov, also floodsafety.noaa.gov. Through the Red Cross, they have a lot of information with regard to flooding preparedness. And then osha.gov, that stands for Occupational Safety and Health Administration. They also have a lot of information with regard to flooding preparedness. So if you get a chance, make sure you check out those links. My approach for this kit was to use a life vest with high visibility, multiple pockets, and D-rings to use as my life vest / personal flotation device survival kit. I've added a lot of water-based gear that are specifically designed for marine emergencies that focuses on signaling for rescue. For the testing of this kit, I did a lot of lake testing in both daylight and in the evening. I still need to do additional testing with various PFD types and clothing variations. The main item for this kit, as you might expect, is a personal flotation device. I went with the Mustang Classic Industrial PFD. It's a functional PFD specifically designed for industrial applications. It's a solid option for the commercial fishing, commercial transportation, industrial marine, search and rescue, special operations, and security sectors. This is a Type 3 PFD, which we'll go into more detail later in this video. It's U.S. Coast Guard approved. I've provided some information in the description box with regard to the different types of PFDs. The Mustang Classic PFD features large armholes for maximum mobility, which is very important for the planning that I had in place. It features SOLAS reflective tape on the shoulders for high visibility. Again, SOLAS stands for Safety of Life at Sea. It has multiple D-rings for lanyard attachments. It has a short-waisted profile for use with sidearms. It has 4 large pockets with full Velcro closures, which was one of the main reasons that I went with this particular one for the prototype. And it also has tug-tight adjustments for exact sizing. A different option that you could use is to use a Type 1 life jacket, which is an offshore life jacket. This type of life jacket is designed for extended survival in rough, open water. It will generally turn an unconscious person face up and has over 22 pounds of buoyancy. This is the best life jacket to keep you afloat in remote regions where rescue may be slow in coming. I went with the Type 3 for this particular prototype of the Life Vest Survival Kit just because I wanted to have that extra mobility, especially in an emergency situation. If I found the right Type 1 that still gave me the right mobility, I'll probably make the switch to that. In one of the bottom pockets of the Mustang PFD, I have a rescue rope. I wanted to have this included with this particular survival kit to allow me to attach to a stable object or even to another person, for example, to Kid Prepper. So what I did is I contacted Matt from Custom Paracord Creations. I described the project that I was working on, what I was looking for, and asked him what he could come up with. So he came up with this paracord rescue rope. As you can see, it's in a high visibility color. It has 2 carabiners, one on each end. It's around 6 feet in length with a good amount of girth to provide extra grip. And if you need to, you could expand it out, disassemble it to an even lengthier rope to use in an emergency situation. During my lake testing, I found that the weight of the carabiners were really nice to be able to throw the rescue rope to a person, for example, but also that weight made the rope sink into the water. So what I did is I added a high visibility floater that's designed for GoPros. It comes in a 2-pack. It's a waterproof camera float, basically a camera strap, costs around $13, and I attached that to one of the ends of the rescue rope to allow it to be not only thrown with the carabiner weight, but also provide a high visibility and even a handle that you could grab onto. And then if that person wanted to, they could attach the carabiner to their own life vest, and then we could be attached to each other, or we could attach ourselves to an object. In one of the pockets of the Mustang PFD, I have a foldable distress flag. This is a large distress signal on flag front and rear. It's made of long-lasting construction. This particular one is made by Shoreline. It's the Shoreline Marine SOS distress flag. It costs around $8. It meets United States Coast Guard specifications for daytime distress signaling. So again, I want to make myself very visible in a flooding situation for rescue purposes. So, one distress flag. Attached to one of the D-rings of the PFD, I have the UST Marine See-Me Auto Strobe Light in the color yellow for high visibility. This is a marine water activated beacon. It's made of high quality materials. Again, it's water activated, or you could set it up for manual activation. When you have it set to auto, as soon as it detects that it's in water, it's going to automatically turn on and go into beacon mode. It could be seen up to 3 miles away in complete darkness. It far exceeds USCG requirements for light output and duration. It's 15 times longer and 6 times brighter than required. So it's waterproof, weatherproof, impact resistant, has an octagonal design for easy grip in wet conditions. The light output is 45 lumens. Operational time is 120 hours. The minimum requirement for USCG is 8 hours. So again, the UST Marine See-Me Auto Strobe Light in the color yellow. This thing's really cool. On one of the other D-rings of the PFD, I have an emergency whistle. This particular one is made by JetLogic. It's the JetLogic W2 safety whistle with floating lanyard. It's in red and black, cost around $5. Again, this is specifically designed for marine use. It's a high-pitch P-less whistle, so you don't have to worry about the P getting wet in the water and not working. When you are in the water, you are going to have to blow out a little bit of the water that gets lodged into the whistle itself. But once you blow that out, the whistle works really great as an audible signal device. These things are required on boats and personal watercraft in most states. It clips onto the life vest, and it could double as a floating keychain. So, an emergency whistle. The most important communications item that I carry on my person is my smartphone. Again, for flooding, we're not talking about a grid down situation, so satellites will still be available. But my particular smartphone is not waterproof, so I want to make sure that it's protected from water if time permits. So this is the Dry Pack DP46. It's in the color yellow and blue. I store it in one of the top pockets of the Mustang PFD. This is a very inexpensive cell phone case that's specifically designed for marine use to protect it from water. So the Dry Pack DP46 for my smartphone. As we mentioned earlier, the stats show that the majority of flood-related drownings are occurring with regard to vehicles, people driving into floods in their vehicles. Again, do not drive in towards a flood. If you see a flood, drive the opposite way if you can. But since the stats show that this is a common occurrence, I wanted to have some kind of vehicle escape tool. So I went with my favorite, the Rescue Me original keychain car escape tool. It's made in the USA. I went with yellow for high visibility. It costs around $10. And this is both a seatbelt cutter and a glass punch. So it punches out the glass window, so tempered glass on the side of your vehicles, whether that be for my own vehicle or if helping someone else. Again, safety first. Don't go in towards a flood. Don't drive your vehicle in towards it. But because it's a common occurrence, I wanted to have that vehicle escape tool. So again, I went with the Rescue Me. I went fairly basic with regard to first aid for this particular survival kit. Again, I didn't want to have a bunch of band-aids, for example, that were just going to get wet in a flooding situation. So in the bottom pocket of the Mustang PFD, all I've included is a CPR mask. This particular one is made by MCR. This is the MCR Medical CPR Rescue Mask. It's for adults and child. It comes in a hard case with a wrist strap. This particular CPR mask was originally recommended to me by a viewer in the comment section who is a medical professional. It includes the mask, valve, gloves, alcohol wipe, and the great thing about this particular mask is you won't be having to pinch the patient's nose shut, so each rescue breath will have 2 avenues of entry into the body, so it's a lot more efficient, increases concentrations of oxygen by 50%. So again, I try to take a CPR class every year to 18 months. In the last class that I took, they didn't even talk to us about the mouth-to-mouth. They just had compressions. So make sure you take your CPR class. But I liked the efficiency of this particular mask with the valve system. So again, this is the MCR Medical CPR Mask. Those are all the items that I store in this prototype version of the Life Vest Survival Kit. As always, I've included a PDF document that you could download by clicking the link in the description box below. It has a list of all the items that were covered in this video. Since this is a prototype version, I'm hoping to get feedback in the comment section with regard to items that you think should be stored in a Life Vest or Personal Flotation Device survival kit for rescue purposes, for safety, emergency purposes. So make sure you leave your comments below in the comments section regarding your thoughts on what items you would want to have for flooding and tsunamis. As I mentioned, at the time of the creation of this video, the state of Louisiana here in the United States has gone through horrible flooding. There are many flood victims over there that could really use help right now. So what I did is I included a link in the description box below on how you could help out the flood victims of Louisiana. One quick, simple, and affordable method to help provide aid to the people of Louisiana is to simply text the word LA Floods to the number 90999. This will donate $10 to the Red Cross to provide aid to the Louisiana flood victims. That $10 will just be added on to your phone bill on the next billing cycle. That's going to do it for this video featuring the Life Vest Survival Kit, designed for flooding and tsunamis. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching it. Again, I've included a PDF document that you could download by clicking the link in the description box below. I've also included a lot of information in the description box, general information with regard to flooding, and then also how to help flooding victims. So again, this is a prototype design, so I would really appreciate any kind of comments below in the comments section regarding the items and the concept in general. I'm still fine-tuning the storage method and the deployment method for this particular survival kit. For example, if there is a flooding in my area and if I thought it was too unsafe to carry a bug-out bag, I would probably just leave the bug-out bag and go with more of a personal flotation device with maybe a go bag, like my H2 go bag, which we have a video for that. But I'm still fine-tuning that, so leave your comments below in the comment section regarding this particular concept, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video featuring my Life Vest Survival Kit. See you guys next time, and stay safe.